Hello, my name is Phreak, and I'm an alcoholic. Okay, not really. Alright, what up? This is Phreak, as I said. Audio commentary for WCR.com. Oh my god, WTF BBQ. Alright, so anyway, we've got Orc versus Night Elf. This is going to be an overview of Wyvern-Craft. So, in other words, you make lots of Wyvern, and then you sort of adapt afterwards. Or not, but in this case he does. So, we've got last.ondal, who I think is probably the number 3 Orc in the world. It's my opinion. Versus, he's like level 30 on Asia, deuxist.blur. So we've got like level 47 or 48 versus 30. It's somewhat a decent game actually, but it's a good overview of Wyvern-Craft because generally deuxist.blur will be better than anyone else you guys face. So it's a good learning point. So as long as you have 350 APM like Ondal, you should be in good shape. Right. So the 20-second mark of the 1x speed with the fog of war on. From last.ondal's point of view, and we will get this unpaused, and then I will tell you random stuff. So, from 3 to 1, without any other random numbers in the meantime. So, 3, 2, 1, unpause. So now we're at 22 seconds. All right, so we've got 4 peons on the gold mine. He's got his altar and burrow, which is the standard build order, and he's going to be going for Wyvern, or Wind Riders to open up with. And he gets pressured by some Huntresses. It's pretty good how he deals with it. It's pretty awesome, man. It's crazy. I'm like, and he's like, and it's like, whoa. Okay, not really. Anyway, so we've got the build order going down. He doesn't get a fast war mill, which is interesting because I like to get it for me because I like to be able to. What is it? I like to get the tower up if I need to. You know, if I see these massive Huntresses, I'm not gonna be able to harass very well. And in this kind of a small map, you know, it's easy to scout, see what your opponent's doing. So, yeah. But anyway, let's see what was I gonna say. I'll remember in a second. Hang on. Yeah. So if the map's small like this, you know, your opponent's probably gonna attack you, so it's good to get up a tower to defend yourself. But otherwise, you know, he decides to rely on just burrows, does actually pretty well with it, so you'll see how that goes. He gets the Farseer first, as usual. Good harassing hero, but you see he doesn't micro very well, and you're going to see 3 consecutive detonates, own 6 total wolves. It's going to be pretty painful, but, you know, whatever. So, why Wyvern-Craft works? The reason would be, now he gets his war mill. Kind of interesting, but whatever. He's going to tech after he's at 18 food. Why Wyvern-Craft works is that archers have very few hit points. Hippos die to bat riders. Chimps can't hit air. Dryads are unarmored. Dots are unarmored. However, flying dots are good. But other than that, you know, there's not a whole lot that you can do. All Night Elf really has is mass archers. And then when you have hero spells, like the Farseers, it works out pretty well. For the Orc player, you can knock out the archers and then just ponage them like noobs. GG. Okay, so right here, he should split apart his wolves, because guess what? Here comes a detonate. Bam! Owned. And could have actually gotten the Farseer if he waited just a half a second longer. Okay, that was fun. Tasty. Alright, so he's going to summon wolves again and get owned again. So watch. Wolves come up, and then level 30 Night Elf gets a wisp right there, and bam! Down goes some more. And his go-to Entangle gets a couple hits on the Farseer. Gets hit by the Ancient of War, so that's a good thing to remember, is that you can time your Entangles and your Storm Bolts and whatnot to, you know, put them in range of towers. The main thing to realize is that it's not worth it to stun if you're not actually going to get a kill from it. Like, okay, you can use Storm Bolt as a nuke, you know, sort of like Undead does it, just to weaken heroes. I mean, that is smart, but after a certain point, you know, there will also be a point when you actually save the Storm Bolt for when it's going to give you a kill. So watch this, bam. Detonates, and this will be interesting. Watch. Now, 115, it said you can no longer buy Zeppelins, you noob. And so watch what happens. He says, crap, I can't buy a Zeppelin. And then he gets like, pow, entangle, oh my god, hacks. GG. Down goes the Farseer. Oh yes, 2 Gosu. Okay, so we get level 2 Keeper of the Grove. And minus 180 wood, or sorry, minus 180 gold for blue, minus 170 gold for the Orc player, but he got a free level 2 Keeper of the Grove. That's pretty much what happened. And now he's got free reign over his base. That's bad for the Orc player. If you don't know why, then you're retarded. Okay, anyway, so that peon's gonna die. It just did. And now he's just gonna work on the voodoo launch because it's out of the range of the burrows. So this guy's like, well, crap. But at least he's getting his Farseer back. So that's okay for him. And he's gonna get Stronghold right about when the Farseer comes out. So he's gonna get himself another hero. So watch this. Bam. Farseer comes out. Buys a Clarity because he needs the mana. And then he builds, possibly, a Shadow Hunter. OMG. Here we go. So he makes one Bestiary. And he's going to go make another one. But then he says, oh wait, hunts are attacking me. So he makes a burrow instead, I think. Let's find out. No, he goes inside the burrow. He was going to make one. Now he's making a Shadow Hunter. So right now his mindset is, okay, I just have to hold him off. Like, I know he can't really touch me because I've got the burrow in there. He's not going to be able to focus on the Bestiary because they build fast enough. So here he goes. He adds his second one now. He realizes that, yes, it's good to build another one. So he's just saying, okay, well, you know what, my wolves can push off the hunters. Bam, detonate. Ownaged. So the Farseer's not doing too well. For 60 gold to get rid of 75 mana and gain 40 EXP, it's worth it. So let's go ahead and detonate when it's 2 wolves, but don't do it when it's only 1. It's going to be a waste. Of course, do it if it's going to die, or if your wisp's going to die, but, you know, otherwise try not to. Just try to run them around till you get both of them caught together, and then you can detonate. So here we go. Mass Entangle on peons is good, so he kills another one right there, so keep the growth leveling up from without creeping at all. Want to do something really scary? The Shadow Hunter has come out. He's like, oh my god, you noobs. So he doesn't need the barracks, it's okay to let it die. I don't know specifically why he built it, but just in case he went for an archer build, then he could just have grunts right away. So right now he uses Hex and the normal damage of the Spirit Wolves to ownage that little Huntress Haxor. So the Huntress is getting a Haxor, as I said. Down that one goes. He's focusing another one, X's it, and then keeps hitting it. So the Huntresses are dying like noobs. See, he puts a peon into the burrow so it doesn't die, which is smart. Just FYI, you know. Hexes another one. He's going to kill that one in about a second. So he focuses that one, kills it. Focuses the other one, kills it. So he's killed 3 Huntresses just straight up. And then look, there's like a wisp that detonates. So it's been, I think, like 5 volleys of wolves killed. So that's a straight up 200 EXP from wolves, 100 from the hero, and then another 75 from peons. So he's already almost level 3 on the keeper. But guess what? Killing those 4 Huntresses brings him right back up there, up to par. So Dukes just kind of blew it right there. But there's not a whole lot you can do against Hex, really, because you can't hide anymore. So, oh my god, he's a noob. He probably should have used the Huntresses. Focus down on the wolves rather than the barracks, because it doesn't really matter if you kill the barracks. It's kind of more important to save the Huntress. So he's a noob. Oh my god. So anyway, he's going to creep now. He sends the wolves in so that they tank for the piercing guy. And the rest of them are just melee creeps, so it doesn't really matter what happens. He just keeps his heroes out of the way so that they don't get hit by the creeps, especially because they're using clarities now. So the Wyvern is being ghosted when focusing down the Null Overseer. More Wyverns coming in, focusing it down. It's getting owned, like the noob that it is. And he's kind of chilling out. And he sees, you know, I'm going to get those items, because, you know, it's a good idea. So he's going to turn his Farseer around in a second. Also close to level 2. So here we go, Farseer turns around. And one of the Null Brutes will die. Oh my god. So Farseer is level 2. He's going to continue to level up after that one dies, or gain EXP anyway. What would have been smarter is actually at least just kill one without the Farseer over there so that they both hit level 2. But, you know, what can you do? It's overpowered. It's completely imbalanced. I don't know what to tell you. You know, blizzards are like automatically micro, like the EXP. So that, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. What the heck? Yeah, so the EXP is distributed so it levels up the heroes in sequence. Like, all the EXP goes to one hero, then it all goes to the other hero, and it just keeps cycling around. So right now he hexes a archer so that he has a little bit, so he doesn't take quite as much damage. Entangle on the Shadow Hunter almost gets a kill, and he hexes another one. So 2 archers have now been hexed. The creeps are a little pissed off at him. So 1 archer goes down, like, pretty easily. Another one's going to go down right here. So he's got 2 archer kills so far. Just for, you know, a pair of hexes, which is fine. Because X is 70 mana, Clarity's 70 gold, and that's over 70 mana. And archers cost more than Clarity, so it's pretty efficient to just hex and kill and then run away. If you can get it right. But however, he loses a Wyvern, so now it's back into the Night Elf's favor. Detonate goes off. Never mind, he's killing archers left and right. His Farseer gets low, so he has to TP out, because there wasn't enough for another Entangle, but still, you know, he probably could have died. So he does a TP out. He's going to salve up. So right now, what happened? And oh, by the way, he expanded also because he crept it out, and he realized that he had a bit of an edge. You know, he was able to do it. Also, he was maxed at his food count. Okay, so what happened so far in this game? Right, he started with the Farseer harass and blew it. However, he got to recover because of his burrows, and he got to sit there until his Wyvern came out and his Shadowhunter came out. Shadowhunter was an instant sort of advantage. I went over that in an earlier commentary at WCR, saying how well, what is it? As soon as you get a certain advantage, like you just get level 3 on the DK, just get level 3 on the Archmage, stuff like that, that's an instant sort of, you know, now you just pulled an advantage forward. And so getting the Shadowhunter gave him that sort of push, and he was allowed to owning some noobs that way. So that Knight kills a Hex. That's something to realize, that you can dispel Hex. You know, it's kind of important. So he's getting some EXP, getting some items, which is pretty useful. FS is close to 3. He's going to get it possibly right here. Nope, not quite. So, oh no. Excuse me. Okay. So, he got to recuperate, and then he pulled in the Wyvern, and he got 4 straight kills because of Hex. You know, the Knight didn't run away, so he got 4 kills from that, which is insane. Right now, he hexed another Huntress, getting another kill right there. You can see just how much of an advantage Hex is giving him. It's giving him free kills. Literally free kills. And also part of the reason he didn't... I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. Also part of the reason he went Wyvern is because there is a Keeper of the Grove. And when there's Keeper of the Grove, it owns melee, or it owns ground units. But by going air, all the Keeper can do is hex heroes or wolves. Wolves aren't very efficient to hex, or sorry, to entangle. And heroes, it doesn't last very long. So, by going Wyvern, he pretty much just owned the Keeper of the Grove. He said, haha, you're a noob. So the Great Hall is now up, as you can see from the text on the screen. Focus on a Wisp so that he doesn't lose the Wolves right away. The Wolves are close to a timing out, but that's okay. Yeah, one Wind Rider gets shadow-stricken, and it's all good. Okay, so you got to recuperate because of the Shadowhunter and the Wyvern. And okay, here we go. He gets level 3 on the Farseer. Now it's time for Direwolves. Direwolves own just overall. He's trying to focus on the Warden, but it's getting pretty far back there, and the Archers are focusing him down. He does get to kill a Huntress, so he switches up the focus from the Warden to the Huntresses. Down goes one Wyvern. He's getting focused some more, so he has to use Healing Wave, and he runs out. He's like, okay, I'm taking too much damage. The War Scroll is pretty awesome, plus 10 damage on the Wind Riders. That's insane. He could turn around right here and kill that Archer, just for free. But, you know, when you're busy macroing and running away and stuff, it's not always easy to see it. Like, if you're perfectly omniscient, it'd be so easy to win a game with flying units. Because you can, you know, run it out, you will always know what you're doing. But generally, the time to macro is when you're running away or running to somewhere, when you're not expecting confrontation. You take your time to, you know, build your bestiaries, your burrows, or your upgrades, or whatever it is. And, you know, that's when you take your time. However, okay, so right now he switches up to grunts because you see this just straight up mass archers. So when there's just mass archers, you switch up to grunts right then, and you just start going after them. You see there's like something like 9 archers right there, and they're all eating it. However, he is killing the Wind Riders pretty easily. So the Wyvern running away again. Another one dies though. You know, taking double damage. You know, 17 to 21 times 2. Let's see, 34 to 42 damage is huge. It's really a lot. So, you know, that's helping him out quite a bit. And just knocking out those Wyvern. Because, you know, they only have 570 hit points. That's about 12 shots to kill one. Okay, a little bit more than that, but it's really close to, you know, like 12, 15 shots to kill a Wind Rider. That's pretty sweet. So right now he checks the expansion. Now why is that? Is because people usually expand once they have an advantage. The advantage for the Night Elf player came when he forced the TP on the Farseer. You know, he forced the TP, and then he came back for more, and then he got pushed off by all those archers, so he was assuming, well, you know what? I can push off my opponent. This is the Night Elf perspective. He said, I can push off my opponent, you know. My archer can take out his Wind Rider, so I have, you know, I can expand right here. I'm pretty safe. However, when the grunts came in the speed scroll, that went back to the Orc player's perspective, and as soon as he pushed him off, he said he probably expanded, and he checked for it. Now, I haven't ever watched this yet with the Fog of War off. He might have just never expanded, or he just might not have, or he might have just canceled it, but either way, you know. Now, you see the Orc timing on the expansion was right when he was, you know, he crept that out. It was pretty hidden, because, you know, who would have thought that you'd expand with Wyvern-Craft this early, because that's pretty rare. And also because, since his opponent, he had just killed 4 Huntresses of his opponent, and he had just then seen Wyvern, so he could probably win, even with, like, 4 archers there. So you know that he had an advantage right there to expand, and now he's pulling that advantage even more by, you know, mining constantly more gold. And now he has a second barracks out, and he's going to churn out grunts. And he's getting burning oil demolishers. The reason for that would be in case of dots, an archer dot or dryads. In this case, you can see the dryads right there. For now, Wind Riders aren't useful anymore because they're going to be very easy to kill. With the slow poison and the archer focus, they're very easy to kill. Like, if you don't have like 8 of them, Wind Riders are pretty useless. They're good because you can focus fire en masse. And here we go. The fortified watchtowers are extremely useful because that's the only thing keeping his expansion from dying right away. However, they're still going down. So down goes one tower. He's going on the burrow now. He gets into the burrow, which is nice, but that's going to go down too pretty soon. He's keeping the wisp ready to detonate wolves. And okay, here he comes. So so what kind of forces he has? What kind of forces he has? This will be tight because it's dryads and archers versus this mixed grunt wyvern army. There's only 5 grunts, but watch what happens because it's pretty cool. He's got a scroll of protection. He's got a scroll of speed, as I said. So he shadow strikes something. He focuses on the wyvern, as you can see. The Wind Riders are first to go. So those both fall really quickly. But now, bam, chain heal, and then it's on. He's got his Torn Chieftain now. He's gonna shockwave. Watch this shockwave. Bam! Ownage kills it damages every huntress there or every archer there. And so, the grunts are getting chain healed again. They're all getting health, and with that scroll protection, it's pretty useful. Giving him just a little bit more durability. Just rip through all the archers. Keep it the growth is hex, and that falls. So GG. I think possibly. Yes, no, maybe so. Who knows? Yeah, and then he leaves the game. My gosh. Okay, so what happened here? The reason for the win. Like last.ondal decided to go. I'm gonna go Huntresses, or sorry, he's going Huntresses as Orc. I'm going to go Wyvern, and I think that was a decision right at the beginning of the game. He said, I'm gonna go Wyvern. I'm not 100% certain. I didn't watch the build order exactly. However, he noticed he did do a tech build, so he did tech before he built anything. Then he built a barracks right after. I think I was watching the harass, so I can't say for certain. But he built a barracks just in case his opponent was actually going for an archer build. He noticed that he wasn't going for an archer build, so he said, okay, it is a useless Rex, whatever. So then he went, he got the dual bestiaries and just stayed home with his burrows and just waited it out till his Shadowhunter and his Wyvern came. He just played pretty safely, Okay, fine, he lost, 3 sets of wolves in his Farseer right away. And that definitely put him at a disadvantage. It's the only reason it was even close for deuxist, because Ondal's obviously a better player, but all those detonates and the nice entangle timing, swift or shifted the early game advantage right into the blur guys' advantage. However, he just pretty much this guy just went dual war Huntresses, and he didn't really watch his units very well. As you saw, he really just kind of let them die in a way. What am I saying? Because he lost 4 just straight up, just from Hex, when he could have realized, okay, crap, he has Hex, and just ran. And with that, he probably could have had the next fight, he could have had his Hunters to focus the heroes, and probably force them back faster and more. So, anytime you're not going to win, just get out. Just get out. That's what you have to do, is as soon as you see you can't win, just run fast, because you're going to get owned if you don't. And this is going to give him hero level. It's going to bring the advantage back into his favor. And I've done that myself a few times. Is I lost my heroes. I just stayed around next to his expansion with a bunch of riflemen, as I just got cut up by a warden. And eventually, he's got level 10 warden. I lost that. But really, it's anytime you're not winning, just get out fast. And if you can, TP, because they're probably going to be able to chase something down. And if it's a rifleman, fine. Rifles cost less than a TP, but the EXP they gain, that makes it a lot closer, and that's something to watch out for. So, you just have to be careful, because, be ready for anything. Deuxist wasn't ready for, or deuxist, I don't know, I'm going to stop saying it, I will say Night Elf. He wasn't ready for Wyvern, he just started massing Huntresses. He wasn't ready for the Shadowhunter, because he stayed there. He just tried to kill a freaking barracks. He didn't even make anything from the barracks, but he just kept focusing it down. So, don't focus buildings when you're starting to get focused by units. Once you're starting to pull units out and you can't really fight them, just get out. Just wait for it and fight them at some other time. When you're fighting an orc base, when he's got burrows, it's not going to work. You pretty much can't fight anyone inside their base early game. It pretty much just doesn't happen. Unless you're doing some kind of hero harass, you're not going to be able to go inside their base. So it's pretty much just don't try. And then Ondal, He adapted, seeing that he was going straight up mass archers. The Dryads were for the slow poison. I know you think that might be a little weird to go Dryads versus Wyvern. It's for the slow poison so he could focus stuff down better. Also, the Abolish against Wolves. He did research Abolish, but, you know, it wasn't enough, as you can see. So, yeah, I mean, that's about it. That's the reason for the win, is he adapted to grunts from archers, saying, okay, you know, he pretty much went Wyvern to get as much of an advantage as he could to push his opponent to go straight up to mass archer. He stayed with it just long enough to make him hard counter it. It switched right up to mass grunts and he won. And he got the expansion up so that he could be able to dual rax them very easily, and that helped him so much. And he just rolled right over him pretty much. Because he kept staying one step ahead, you know. He was massing Wyvern when his opponent didn't have archers, then he massed grunts as he was trying to make the archers. And then he just got it. So, as you saw, archers can cut up Wyvern very easily. You saw how quickly they went down in some of those fights. But also how quickly Wyvern can own archers too. So it's whoever's prepared better will win that fight. Alright, so you got to see that Shockwave Chain Lightning is awesome. Hex is good. Hex wasn't really the best spell, I felt, but, you know, the Serpent Wards wasn't much either, I guess. So it's probably the best spell he had. For the early game pressure, I personally would have gone Sentry Ward, but as you saw, Hex worked out because Blur is retarded. But, or Night Elf, I should say. Night Elf in general is retarded, sure, why not? No, because the Serpent Wards are very nice piercing damage, and they're completely magic immune. They can't be dispelled in any shape or form. They can't be hit by magic units, so Griffins can't kill them. So, by the way, they're a great counter to Chimera and Griffins, just FYI. And Frostworms, I guess, if they get really high level. And they're like as much damage as a Water Elemental, but unable to be hit. So also good against Destroyers and whatnot. So that's something to think about. Is that Serpent Wards are actually pretty sweet because you can't dispel them. It's the only summon that's not dispellable. How about that? How about that? Alright. This will be Phreak signing out, so goodbye and peace out and etc.